we live in both spots? I don't know. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi. Hello, welcome to Bare Bones Kitchen. Monday Morsels! Yay! Do I have anybody on Instagram? Because I don't know if the live button actually went or not. I'm going to hit it again just in case. Oh, look at that. Didn't hit the button. Yeah, doing it. Doing it right. Hello. Hello again. Sorry, Facebook people, you have to hear it again. Welcome, welcome to Monday Morsels in Bare Bones Kitchen. I am your culinary coach, Harmony. And tonight we're going to do quick bread. I thought this was going to be a really great idea because I thought quick bread, right? Because the difference between a quick bread and the other breads that you make is with the other breads that you make, you have yeast in them and you have to wait for all the things. I thought quick bread, we're just going to do quick bread. Well, I didn't read so well and it takes an hour for it to cook. So it's kind of quick bread. It's a quick process to get to the quick bread. But we're going to go through that and then you all can just join in the fun later. Cheers. I apologize for being a few minutes late, but we're still going to get it done. We're going to get it done right. All right. So I have 2 cups of bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour because there's no shame in that. No shame in that at all. If that's what you have on hand, that might be another lesson, like the difference between flours. You know, you're just going to get a way better texture with a specific flour. And this is not saying at all. All right, anyway, we're going to go through this. I just have my little bread pan. I put a little piece of parchment paper in here with a little bit of non-stick stuff. So when the bread is all done, we can just pull it right up and out without having to worry about it sticking, even though this is a non-stick pan. When I first bought it, I baked zucchini bread in it, and I cut it in the pan, which is a big fat no-no, and I fruckered up the non-stick. So that's how I rolled with it. So that is what we are doing in order to get it to stay and be beautiful when we go to pull it out of there. I do have a loaf of this in the oven. Unfortunately, it's not going to be done for another 30 minutes or so. I apologize. I don't have anything to show you. So you're going to have to wait. Because then you also have to wait for it to cool. Because if you cut hot bread before it's cooled, it will just all squish and crumble and be a big old crappy mess. And nobody wants that. So make sure you're cooling your bread. All right, have I ranted enough yet? Are you guys ready to rock and roll? Side note, quick bread. You're talking banana bread, right? Zucchini bread. Those are quick breads. Quick, easy process. You don't have to wait for fermentation from your yeast. You can just throw it all together and put it in the pan and throw it in the oven and call it good for apparently about an hour. Or until the toothpick inserted, coming out just like a cake. You insert the toothpick. Same difference, guys. You just don't want a bunch of crap on it, right? If you don't use that trick, you should. Okay, so we're going to get on with this. We're going to get on with this because I've wasted enough of your time and I'm babbling. We have 2 cups of flour. I have a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Okay? And a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. I had to remember which was which. That's what the pause was for. All right. And then we need to get, because I totally forgot to prepare this, 1 tablespoon of sugar. And just know that when you're doing yeast breads, you want to add your sugar to your yeast mixture because it's going to help your yeast rise. And some salt. And I'm sure it's like a ½ teaspoon, so if you're using a regular iodized salt, go ahead and do your ½ teaspoon. I just like to kind of rock some of my freshly ground salt. How is everybody tonight? Can't really tell who's here because I can't see. All of a sudden, my lights are super bright tonight. You guys know I struggle with this. I'm always trying to get the lights to be brighter so I can actually see. But they're so bright, I'm actually blinded by the light. Yeah. That's what we're doing. All right, I have 1 cup of milk, just shy of 1 cup, because I don't have buttermilk. So I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice to my buttermilk. And I should have done this before. And that is the end of my lemon juice. Should have thought about that one. That's okay. It will still work regardless. I'm not worried about it. And I have 1 egg. I know, it's expensive. That 1 egg going. Where's Marquita? She's going to tell me she's using all the eggs. And then I already melted a stick of butter, so I know that there's a 1/4 cup in here. And we're just going to add that to my milk mixture. All right. And we're going to give it a little whisk. And my recommendation, anytime you're working with things like baking powder, baking soda, always run it through a small little strainer just to get those little lumps out. And then mix your dry ingredients together so it kind of incorporates everything first. That way you don't have big old mouths full of baking soda. That's not fun. I've done that before and it's not fun. You know, back in my amateur days. All right. And then we're going to mix this little guy up. And again, with the milk and the lemon, it's going to create kind of a curdle. So if you don't have buttermilk, you can totally do this. You can also use sour cream or plain yogurt, like 3/4 to the rest. So this was a cup, so if you do 3/4 of a cup of sour cream or your yogurt and then a 1/4 cup of milk, you should be ready to rock. All right. We're just going to pop that in there. And you don't want to overmix it because it's going to make it really dense and disgusting. So you're just really incorporating it. Whereas with yeast breads, you want to mix the hell out of it. Because that's what gives you the deliciousness that comes with making a yeast bread. Which we don't do on this show often because it takes a long time. And I figure you guys would be really bored of me after an hour. So, of waiting. We could put it together. And then that would be fantastic. But, yes. Alright, I think I got most of it mixed together. I'm going to use my little rubber spatula over here to get the rest of it. Kind of fold it in so I'm not getting all crazy. Just don't want to see any flour in there. Alright guys, I did another round of BBK BBQ this weekend. Super excited. I got some good feedbacks from some amazing folks. Thanks Nick and Jen and Alyssa and Miss Sue for all of the feedback. I guess a Super Bowl weekend is a good weekend to have barbecue sauce going, huh? Totally wondering if I could use sour cream to soak my chicken for chicken strips. Absolutely. You're going to want to, like, water it down a little bit, though. Because otherwise it's just going to be a bunch of sour cream. But, yeah, you can totally do that. It actually makes your chicken, like, super moist. Super duper uber moist. I would maybe just water it down slightly, Nick. I wouldn't do a whole bunch of it. But you could, I mean, if that's what you want to do. Absolutely be just like a buttermilk. The things we learn, right? The more you know. Okay, maybe I'm showing my age a little bit. That's okay. It's true though, right? Right, Miss Gail? Like the little star across the screen. I know, but at least I can speak to somebody that knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like... I remember when I was in culinary school, there was this very young girl. She was like literally fresh out of high school. And she walked up and I go, "What's going on, Sister Christian?" She says, "I'm not a Christian." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm like ancient." She doesn't even know the song. What is going on here? I'm not Christian. I was like, "Oh, that's not actually what I meant, but it's good to know." Like, it was great. All right, so we're popping this in an oven at 350 degrees for right about an hour. And as soon as the other loaf is done, I will post a picture and show you all. that is what I have tonight. So Miss Gail and I are going to figure out how to can BBK BBQ. Again, lots of positive feedback, so I'm very excited to launch that. I did have to switch up the cranberry chipotle though, and replaced it with blueberry chipotle and raspberry chipotle. So, and then I had some extra sauce left over, so then I made my own version for my own self and have a quart jar of it that's blueberry and raspberry. So I don't know, do you call that a blue raspberry? Because Zane will argue with you that that is not a real thing, therefore our senses cannot process it.
Is that a cocktail?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Is it a cocktail? It sure can be a cocktail. We can make anything a cocktail in BBK. All right, you all. I am going to let you go for now, and I will post pictures of this delicious quick bread as soon as it comes out of the oven. All right. I will see you all on Wednesday for BBK. Thank you. Love you all.
Thanks for
Mixed
showing
berry.
up.
Love it, Nick. Mixed berry barbecue sauce. I'm down.
Oh, yeah.